10 reasons that it is time to end your relationship. Relationships go through stages and changes. Today, this video will cover 10 reasons that it's time to end your relationship. Relationships, especially romantic relationships, can be enjoyable. However, we can take different roads in life, and breakups can be difficult and sometimes depressing. When you notice negative changes in yourself and your partner. Despite the difficulties, you might want to stay so that you don't need to face the truth. However, slowly the realities will eat away at you. Here are some tips to help you assess and possibly decide if your relationship is not going in the right direction, and you may need to end things. 1. You are no longer happy or fulfilled. If you are unhappy in your life, it is important to realize that you are in control of the situation. You can make a change and move on. There are many things that can be done about it. It is not healthy to stay in an environment where you are unhappy or unfulfilled for too long. Your mood and mental well-being can suffer, and so can your other personal relationships. 2. You are constantly fighting with your partner. Arguments and discussions are an inevitable part of any relationship. After all, couples are just two people with different needs and wants that must find a way to work things out. However, if the arguments are constant ego-driven with the aim to win, then this can have a negative impact on the relationship. Instead, the point should be to understand each other and then find a solution that is fair and reasonable that takes into each person's views. 3. You find yourself getting frustrated with your partner more often than not. Do you find yourself getting frustrated with your partner often? If so, then this portion of the video is especially for you. We all have our faults and flaws. But the question is whether the other person in your relationship will be able to accept your flaws and vice versa. Although this can be hard when you experience constant anger or disappointment due to your partner's actions. Therefore, it is important to make sure that you're both on the same page with how you feel about the irritating actions. And if you aren't on the same page and can't come to a middle ground or agreement, then it might be time to rethink your relationship. 4. Feeling like they're suffocating you. The more time you spend with your partner, the more you feel like they're suffocating you. This seems like a contradiction. But if we look at the theory of attachment styles, the idea starts to make sense. Attachment theory is based on how infants connect with their caregivers for survival and safety. It states that infants form an attachment to their caregiver, which is based on 3 principles. 1. Infants who receive consistent emotional support from their caregiver will develop a sense of security and trust. 2. Infants who are experiencing inconsistent emotional support from their caregiver will develop anxiety. 3. Infants who experience no emotional support from their caregiver will develop an avoidant attachment style. If you can identify the attachment style of your partner, then you will have some insight as to the issues you may be experiencing. You can also uncover whether you can cope in the relationship or need to make changes. 5. You've tried to talk about it, but nothing gets better. When we feel like we cannot talk about it, sometimes the only way to get better is to face the reality. This section deals with how to handle difficult conversations. The first thing you need to do is figure out what you're going to say. Write down your feelings and thoughts in a letter, and then think about your responses in case your loved one pushes back with their own feelings and thoughts. Finally, rehearse the conversation in front of a trusted friend or loved one that can help you. Find any potential flaws with your plan, or if you have a good plan to move forth with. Once you have figured out the best conversation and approach for your given situation, you can then make a decision about the best time to deliver the message to your partner and have the conversation, knowing you are trying your best. Also note they may not want to make changes. Additionally, note that if you are in an unsafe and very abusive relationship, you are best to seek help outside of the home, legally and/or protection-based. However, once you deliver your message and if nothing changes, and habits are clearly not changing, it may be time to make changes and move on. 6. Your partner is not showing any interest in you. If you have noticed, your partner is not showing any romantic intentions towards you. This could be because they are cheating on you or because they are no longer in love with you. Either way, the signs should not be ignored. It is best to have an open, honest conversation. As there may be other reasons, make sure to clarify this before making any sudden decisions. However, if you establish they are no longer interested in you romantically, there may be a need to make change. 7. You feel unhappy and dissatisfied with your partner. The number 1 cause for divorce in America is differences in expectations. It can be challenging to understand what the other person expects and needs. We all have different needs and wants, and it's important to be able to talk openly about those expectations before you get married. because it is important to establish what your differences, similarities, and goals are. Specifically, what you see in your future and what you'd like to achieve individually and in a relationship, from children, marriage, to career goals, etc. If you have different ideals, then you may need to reassess your relationship. 8. You both have different interests and want different things from life. It can be difficult when this occurs. The key to a successful relationship is understanding and being flexible. Also, understanding both you and your partner's needs and desires to make both of you feel loved and desired. 9. The relationship is going nowhere and feels stagnant or deadlocked. If you're staying in a relationship because of the fear of being alone, or because it's just too hard to leave another human being, even if it's not working out anymore, or your partner has been unfaithful to you, and the lying and betrayal don't matter as much as the other issues in the relationship that you can't fix or get over, then the decision has pretty much been made for you. The decision to leave a partner can be one of the most difficult and confusing decisions to make. Additionally, if they are abusive, this can make it more complicated. And we encourage you to find a trusted person to help you out of such a situation. 10. If you feel pressured to change and you feel belittled, there are minor changes that your partner may want you to make, like wiping up spilt coffee on the bench every morning. However, if they are belittling you about your choice of job, constantly wanting you to change your career that you love so much, then it could be a bad sign, especially if you feel undermined by these requests. It could be a sign that they are controlling or have other issues that you cannot change. However, you have the ability to change your own path. If these reasons have helped you and given you some answers, take some time and reflect and establish if the relationship is worth working for, or you need to cut your ties and take care of yourself. If any of these signs raised any red flags for you, then please drop us a comment below and let us know about your discovery. And remember to share this video if you have someone in mind who will benefit. Also subscribe so that we can make more videos for you. And thank you so much for watching.